fella, he does real math. Gives you guides, puts you on the path. With today's lesson, he is in his zone. So come on now, let's get going.
Howdy, Math Fella here with a tutorial for quadratic factoring. To help you with this method, I'm going to give you a phrase, Math Fella says go fish, to help you remember multiply, factor, substitute, group, and factor. So let's get to application here. Take this simple quadratic. First step is to multiply, so I'm going to multiply the 1 times the negative 12. In this case, the A times the C in this form. Gives me a negative 12. I want to find the factors of that negative 12 that I combine to get a positive 1. So in this case, it'll be a positive 4 and a negative 3. So I've multiplied, I've factored. Next, I'm going to substitute. So for this plus 1x, I'm going to substitute a plus 4x minus 3x. The order of those does not matter. We're going to do an option 1 running through here that shows you in this order. I'm going to reverse them and do an option 2 to show that we get to the same solution. After substituting, we're then going to be grouping the first two terms and the last two terms in this form. So I've multiplied, I've factored, I've substituted, I've grouped, and then I'm going to factor again. I'm going to look for a common term between those two, which in this case is an x. Common term between these two, which in this case is a negative 3. And when I factor that out of each of those terms, you can see in both cases I'm left with a x plus 4. So that's the key item we're looking for in this method, is to find a common binomial to pull out. So that's where we got with option 1. Let's take a look at option 2. If I've reversed those, still do the same grouping, looking for a common term here and a common term here. In this case, x minus 3 is our common binomial, and I factor out an x and a positive 4. So either method yielded the same factors for that. So you can see the reverse order doesn't change the equation at all. So once I've found those, next I want to check to make sure that truly is a solution, make sure I had made an error away. And the benefit of quadratic factoring is you could then multiply those two terms to see if you got the quadratic you started with. So x times the x times the 4, see these first two terms, negative 3 times the x, and negative 3 times the positive 4 gives you negative 12. Combine your middle terms, and it yields the original equation you started with. So that shows you a good methodology. I'd like for you to go back if you want to review some of that to help you remember what to do, or if you feel like you have it down. Go factor this particular equation. I want to find the two factors that I multiplied together to get to that term using the MFSGF process that we just went through. So I'll let you run back through that, and when you're ready, go to the next slide. And that will show you the solution. Okay, hopefully what you identified looks something like this. Found 2 and 7 to be your common terms. Factored out an x from those first two, 7 from the second two, to yield your two factors. So that was a good application of that methodology. This is a very proven quadratic factoring form, and would like you to spend a little more time making sure you've got this one secured. And remember, Math Fella does real math.